Fine, thank you. You?
Doing great, thanks. Thanks for asking. How was your week?
It was fine, just regular working week.
Just the regular, same old, same old.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Did you have any debates or tables to,
No,
like okay,
no,
to
nothing
moderate or
like that.
anything? All
Mm-mm.
right, all
Yeah.
righty. I don't think we've talked about your everyday activities at work. What does a normal day look like for you?
I just have a lot of lessons, tutoring, like classes. Not a lot, it depends. On
Okay,
average, I have maybe 5 per
five
day.
tutoring lessons on
Yeah,
different aspects, or is it primarily English?
English.
Okay.
Yeah. And what else? What else? What else? What else? Also, I have maybe I haven't told you.
Mhm.
My family owns a restaurant
Okay. Okay.
in the cafe,
Hmm.
and I'm helping there with the social media,
Media.
like with the Instagram. Like I'm an SMM manager as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and also I'm helping with the website.
Okay.
We have online menus, so the prices, the everything, adding new dishes, removing old dishes, changing
Wow.
prices and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Yeah. So every day I have to post some stories on 2 pages for restaurant and for the cafes. Sometimes I
Okay.
make posts, so I make all the photos.
Mhm. The restaurant or for the what?
Cafe, cafe,
The cafe.
cafe,
Cafe. Okay.
cafe.
You didn't mean to say coffee, right? You meant the cafe, like the
No,
place.
cafe,
Okay. Okay. The
cafe,
cafe.
places. Yeah, restaurant and cafe. It's
Nice.
like a diner. The second one
Got
is
it.
a diner.
Hmm. Yeah. A cafe or a cafeteria, also known
Yeah.
as.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I see. Nice. So you said you were one type of manager. Will you remind me what word you said before manager? You said I am also a
Social,
manager.
social
Social.
media,
Okay,
social
social media manager. Okay.
media.
Sometimes we also call it a community manager.
Community.
Hmm.
I never heard.
Community manager.
Because
That's
in
actually
Ukrainian, it will be like we have this abbreviation SMM, manager, post
okay.
manager,
Social
SMM, post
media
manager.
manager, of
Yeah.
course. Okay, got it. They are known on this side of the world as community managers, right? Like people who run the social media platforms or accounts of,
Uh,
of
uh,
uh, many different profiles, right? Okay,
yeah.
nice.
And
So, did you study for that or just learned on the fly?
no, I just did it. Just it's because the girl who was this position before, like before war, she just left and
Okay.
she moved to Denmark with 2 kids.
Mhm.
And yeah, my aunt just asked me like, "Would you like to do this?" I said, "Okay, let me try." Yeah, and I just started doing it.
Do you receive compensation for that, or is it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
okay? Okay,
sure,
like you
sure.
you you do have a position. I mean, you don't do it for the love of the family only, right?
No,
Okay,
but
got
but
it.
but I received the salary as a family member.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, they're not paying you as an external person. Okay.
Yeah,
Katya, Denmark.
Denmark. Not
Okay,
Denmark,
and
Denmark.
exactly
Mhm,
not Dene, but Denmark, right?
Denmark,
And we
Denmark.
also have the word website.
Website, web
rather than rather
website,
than website, right? Not website,
website,
but
website.
website. You got it. I mean,
Yeah,
we discussed that last class. All
yeah,
right, very good. So social media and then English tutoring.
and yeah, and it's a part of the like it's a job, it's
Hmm.
work, and also once a week I have a stretching class.
Oh, like you teach stretching?
No,
Oh, you take it.
learn. I take classes. Yeah, I take
Got
classes,
it.
stretching
Hmm.
classes, and once a week or once a fortnight,
Your
I
Spanish class?
take dance classes.
Oh, dance classes as well. Online as well?
No,
Okay.
in-person classes. Yeah,
All right.
and
It,
once a week Spanish class.
oh, okay. Once a week Spanish class. How's your Spanish doing?
Yeah, it's okay, but it's really situation with Spanish. It's really strange. It's not like English. So I can say that I started talking Spanish like quicker. But the problem is that I understand everything. Like, I'm not talking about some films or series. I'm talking about my tutor. So yeah, so I understood every single thing that she says. Yeah, sometimes I don't know the word, but still I can understand.
But you
I
can
can
understand.
guess the meaning of the word. But the problem is she's asking the question, and I have to give the answer. And like in a second, I've heard the
Oh,
word, but I can't but I can say this word. I
okay,
understood like everything, but I
okay.
can't like say this word. It's what
She is
hap-
your teacher Spanish? From
yeah,
Spania? I mean, sorry, from Spain?
yeah, from Spain. Yeah, she's
Got it.
from Madrid.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
Jolinet.
yeah,
Okay, like she speaks with the Spanish accent
Spanish
from
accent.
Spain, right? Of course.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Love it. Entonces, por ejemplo, si empiezo a hablar español, tú me entiendes perfectamente.
Sí, sí, te entiendo. No, no sé,
Awesome.
tienes acento
Mexicano.
mexicano. Sí, por eso.
Ujú.
Quizá subjuntivo, sí, sí. Quizá quizá tenga problemas entenderte. Sí.
Al entenderte. But that's only because of the accent, the Mexican accent. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. I love it how you said quizá. Yeah. Quizá
Mhm.
tenga, right? Because, like, for example, in Mexico, we would say quizá, right? With a
Quizá.
s,
Ah,
exactly. Even
ajá.
though it's a z, right?
Mm,
We would say quizá, and they would say quizá, of course. Lovely. Okay. By the way, if you have at any point any questions also about Spanish, I mean, like,
mhm.
I'm also a native Spanish speaker, right? Although I'm not that good of a Spanish teacher. Like all of my training is on English and the
Mhm.
methodologies and all of it, they can be transferred, but I have never really taught Spanish. Other than university,
Mhm.
it's actually fun. So if you have any questions, by all means, I'm also there.
Okay.
All right,
Let's see.
very good. So, Katerina, we discussed difficult vowels. Sorry, no, difficult consonants last class. You remember how we talked about the different sounds of the erde, right? Or the T
Mhm.
when it's in between two vowels, when it's the stop, like at the end of words. When
Yeah.
we have a consonant in front of a T, what happens? Today we're going to be talking about stress specifically. Now, when I
Mhm.
say stress, Katya, what comes to mind?
Stress,
Yeah.
I don't know, the stress syllables, words.
Oh, there we go. Exactly. Okay. So because you know what? Hold on a second, because I'm not sharing the correct portion of the screen. Now I am.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, as I was saying, a lot of people think of stress as, like being overwhelmed by the activity they have to do. Now, talking
No.
about, talking about, uh, linguistically, stress, it has to do with three three there are three characteristics when we talk about stress, right? Whenever you stress a syllable, we're talking about making it louder, making it longer, and
Mhm.
higher in pitch, right?
Mhm.
Because if we take a look at this word, right, which is fairly simple, it's not the same thing to say banana,
Mhm.
saying
Banana.
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 Exactly. So banana would be stressing the three syllables equally, but that doesn't happen in English. If we have more than one syllable, there will be one that is stressed more than the others, right? In this case, we have three syllables, and we're supposed to stress the one in the middle, right? Are you with me? I think we're having connection issues. All right. I'm just gonna wait for you to come back. Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
I'm
I think
sorry.
you're
I'm
back
sorry. It maybe something with my Wi-Fi. Sorry.
with the
Yeah,
with
I
a
haven't
Wi-Fi
heard
connection.
anything. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. I noticed you froze, and I was like, I'm going to
Okay.
stop speaking. I don't think she can hear me in this moment. All right. So once again, three syllables. There's always one that we call the stressed syllable, which is
Mhm.
the main one, right? And now that we know there are three things that we do when we stress a syllable, right? Do you remember the three aspects of stress?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I just told you, right? Remember, we make it louder
Louder, longer. Yeah,
and
longer and higher
in pitch. That's right.
pitch.
So check
Mm-hmm.
this out. Banana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Banana. So that's what we're talking about, right? Now there are some rules that we follow when we talk about syllable stress. What we have to also consider is that, well, English is not a phonetic language, right? So they break rules all the time. So so we have rules just to kind of give us an idea of what happens, but all the rules are broken in pronunciation, right? So um okay. Are you familiar with these symbols, Katya?
Uh, with
Like
with
phonetic
space,
symbols?
what?
No, like symbols like this one. Like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
okay, so if you see them, you know how to pronounce the sounds. Like for example, this one being an ah,
Uh,
and this one
yeah,
being
maybe with the vowels, I can have
mhm.
problems sometimes. I
Okay,
know that you have these like two dots, it will be the short sound.
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, something I know, but maybe not
Got it.
everything.
All right, but you already have a notion of what that is, and
Yeah,
whenever
sure.
you see them, we're talking about pronunciation, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's gonna make everything much easier. All right, so what we need to focus on is there are always syllables that are stressed and syllables that are not stressed. But the thing is that unlike languages like Spanish, for example, if I say banana in Spanish, it sounds similar to English, but notice how I maintain the quality of the ah sound on the unstressed syllable. For example, I say ba na na. You can clearly
Mhm.
hear that I'm saying ba and na in the unstressed syllables. In English, we don't maintain the quality. For the syllables that we don't stress, we reduce them. We reduce them to this sound. Hold on a second. Right here. The sound schwa, which is
Sure.
uh, very unclear, very short, right? And very soft in its pronunciation, right? So I don't say ba na na, right? As you can see, we have a schwa, and then I say b
B
banana. It's
banana.
a banana. It's a banana.
It's a banana.
Banana. Exactly. So that b and that n are reduced, right? We
Mm-hmm.
don't keep the quality, the full quality of the vowel. We reduce it to uh, right? And
Uh-huh.
that's actually what a lot of people have trouble understanding about the English language, especially when they come from phonetic languages like Spanish, in my case, right? I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
see an A, why shouldn't I say ba? Well, that's because English is weird. English is just different. I'm not going to say weird, I'm going to say different. So,
Mm-hmm.
stressed and reduced vowels. That's all it is. I want you to take a look at at this table right here. We have one syllable, so the quality of the vowel is intact. How do you say this word?
Man.
Exactly. The sound is ah, right? So man. This is a man.
Man. Mm-hmm.
But look at what happens when I add it to the word salesman.
Salesman.
Exactly. So the word man is
Man.
reduced to
Mm-hmm.
man, man,
Man.
right?
Salesman.
You don't say salesman anymore, right? Because this is a reduced syllable. All right. So
Salesman.
we're gonna be practicing with this. Remember, whatever the sound was, it's turned into a schwa when it's not the stressed syllable. Let's go again. How do you say this one?
Man.
And
Salesman.
good.
Pose. Purpose.
Beautiful. So instead of O,
Oh,
it's now us.
S.
Purpose. Yes.
Purpose. Purpose. Race. Terrace.
Perfect.
Late. Chocolate.
Perfect.
Court. Record.
Record. Yeah, this one is fun because we have record and record, right? But this
Record.
one right here is record.
What
Record.
is the difference? Record and record?
Verb and noun. The
Which is
verb
verb?
is record, right? Like,
Record.
hey, let's go into the studio and record our next song, right?
Uh-huh.
But when you finish the recording, then you have a record,
Record. Okay.
right? Let's record the record. You can
Mhm.
actually say that. All right. So, how about these two?
Rage. Courage.
Beautiful.
Fast. Breakfast.
Exactly. And
Land. England.
fantastic. That's exactly what happens. So remember, if the syllable is not stressed, we usually reduce it to a schwa, to an
Mhm.
sound. All right. Now moving on to what happens uh, of the opposite, right? Like instead of having the reduction at the end, we have it at the beginning. This is, let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. No, that's too big. How about this one?
Con.
Yeah, like pros and con.
Pros and cons. Okay. Con.
Oh, but rather than
Control.
ko, we go with con.
Con. Con.
Yeah,
Con. Pros and cons. Control.
beautiful.
Control. Add. Advice. Lag. Lagoon. Ball. Balloon. Rad. Reduce.
Yes.
Off. Offend. Mat. Material.
Material.
Material. Mad. Madrid.
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 That's right.
Sorry.
Madrid.
Madrid.
There we go. All right. So you have no problems reducing and stressing. So we have half the battle won. All righty.
Okay.
Now we're going to compare a little bit more with stressed and reduced vowels, right? Over here, we're practicing the a sound and reducing it to a schwa. So this one right here, hold on a second. By the way, you will notice that we have some words in bold. That means that that's where the stress should fall, right? So this one is absent, and this one is about, right?
About.
Alrighty, let's
Absent.
practice.
About. Absent. About. After. After.
Yeah.
After. Afford. Address. No.
Address.
Address. Noun. Address. Verb.
Yeah, sorry, there's a misspelling here. It should be noun
Noun.
with without the o. Sorry
Mhm.
about that. How about the next one?
Adverb. Admit. Allergy. Allergic. Alley.
Ally?
Oh, sorry. Ally.
No,
Allow.
ally.
Ally.
Remember, this is the strong one. Ally.
Ally. Allow.
Yeah,
Angry. Annoyed. Apple. Apply.
fantastic. Alrighty, now the e sound.
Envy. Envoy. Oi, enjoy.
Enjoy.
Sorry.
There we go. That's all right. Envy, enjoy.
Enjoy. Edit. Addition.
Yep.
Extra. Exact.
Okay, give me an a very
Uh,
clear in extra,
extra.
and
Exact.
yeah.
Enter. Enough. Enemy. Exploit.
Oop, explode.
Explode. Sorry.
Okay,
Episode.
good.
Escape.
Can you say this one again?
Episode.
Episode. Ode.
Episode. Episode.
Mhm.
Empty. Employee.
Okay, one little thing, because I don't know, for some reason, I can hear an instead of an e when you say this
Eh.
sound, right? Remember, it's an e,
Eh.
and we
Eh.
spread our lips to the sides, right? E, e.
Eh.
we keep the
Empty.
song, sorry, we keep the tongue, what am I talking about? We keep the tongue in the middle, right? Not too high, not too low, right there in the middle, but we spread our lips, right? So,
Empty.
Good. Do me a favor and say all of these, as a little
Yeah, I
envy,
understood.
edit, extra.
And envy, edit, extra, enter, enemy, episode, empty.
Good. This one again. Oh,
Episode.
yes, it's an episode.
An episode. Episode.
Episode. Now, just by listening to this, then now you understand that not all of the vowels that aren't stressed are reduced, right? Because if that were the case, then we would say episode, right? But we don't say episode, we say episode. There is such a thing called secondary stress, right? So we have primary stress at the beginning with the and then t, that is stress, and then secondary stress is right here. That's why this letter sounds like an O instead of a schwa, because it's secondary stress, right? We're not going to dive too deeply into first, second, and third degrees of stress because that's, utterly unnecessary. So it's really not important. Just let's practice the sounds that we have over here. And then when I notice something, I'm going to correct, like this one, right? Episode.
Episode.
Good. And the final one is
Empty.
empty. Fantastic. Now the sound is ah. Not not ah, ah. Exactly. That's the sound. So we say concert, ka.
Concert.
Good. Remember, it's not o, not o. Ah,
Concert.
Yes.
Concert.
Beautiful. Concert.
And concern.
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 Yeah, remember the stress is on the final syllable.
Concern. Concern. Context. Conclude. Conclude. Conflict. Confess.
Perfect.
Conscious. Confirm. Contrary. Continue. Concept. Confuse. Confident. Convince. Contract. Connect.
Contract, connect. Yes. Okay. Nothing to correct there. Let's go with pro. All right. Now, pro when it's on its own, right? But right here, when it's stressed, it sounds like an again. Pra. And pr. Pra. All right. Let's go.
Reduce threshold. Product.
Yes.
Product. Produce. Produce.
The word produce exists. All right. It means vegetables and fruit in a supermarket, for example. The produce section. All right. So
The
careful
produce
with
section?
that. Yeah, the produce section is where the fruit and vegetables are. So product, produce.
1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Just made a note.
Oh, there we go.
Produce.
Yeah.
Process. Proceed.
Let's say this word again.
Process.
Yeah, the thing is, you're pronouncing the C with a T. I don't know. You're saying this. You're saying protest.
No,
Okay.
I see there is in Ukrainian language, there is a letter T.
Oh, okay.
It's like T and S, like T.
Exactly. It's kind of like this, right? Like T.
Yeah, like this. And maybe this is the sound I pronounce. Say process.
Exactly. That's the one I'm listening. Yeah, exactly. So once again, process. Yeah.
Process. Okay. And proceed.
Good.
Proceed. Problem. Procedure.
Beautiful.
Profit.
Oh, you're starting to
Oh,
fall into the O sound. Exactly. Let's go into the ah.
profit,
Yes.
profit, profit. Professor,
Yes.
progress. Why? Oh,
That's the one.
progress,
Progress. Progress.
progress.
Hmm.
Professional, professional.
Yeah.
Probably pronounce.
Yeah. By the way, okay, I'm gonna ask you about your mother tongue, right? Ukrainian. Is Ukrainian phonetic? That is like, does every letter have one sound always?
No.
Okay. Okay. I was asking you because normally, like for example, many of my students, when they see an O, they always say O. Product, process, problem, right?
Uh-huh.
And I can see that, like you start with a beautiful ah sound, ah, and then it starts to switch into an O, right? Is an O always pronounced O in Ukrainian?
In this term, yeah.
Hmm?
In Ukrainian, yes, but in Russian, no. So you can
Oh,
write
okay.
O, but read A. It's in
Oh,
Russian.
okay. Similar to this. Okay.
Yeah, to this.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. In Ukrainian,
Got it.
no, the same, but we have some uh also difference. Like for example, the endings that would sound like this letter ts, tsia,
Hmm.
but you will write with
At
letter
the end.
t, s, and other letters. Like, but the transcription will be with this ts sound.
Okay.
Yeah, but you will
Okay.
write this with, maybe it's also this the
Okay.
same,
And
right? This letter.
does it happen sometimes that a C is pronounced ts?
Uh, no,
Okay.
S sound no. We have also, by the way, about the vowels. When we have the transcription at school, we also did these transcriptions,
Yes.
like with the sounds, and sometimes we can write in the transcription like at
Mhm.
like this. That
You also follow the IPA, which is the International Phonetic Alphabet, right?
yeah, the
Mhm.
letter E, for instance, that is closer to a letter, like this. It
Oh
would be
my
the
goodness.
transcription. That
What
there
is the
will be
sound?
like,
What is the sound of that?
I can't give the
Mm.
example of the words, but no, it's E,
E. Like
E. No,
like
not E, E. It
oh
will
my
be
goodness, I won't be
people.
able to.
Me, we. It's
Uh-huh.
me,
We.
we,
We.
me. Yeah,
We.
it's E sound.
Like it's in
Yeah,
between a U and an E, like somewhere in between.
yeah,
E.
maybe. It's
Yeah,
like
sorry. Like I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be
yeah,
able to
yeah, yeah. It's E,
pronounce it.
and
Wow.
sometimes like yeah, some we have E sound and sound and
Okay.
sometimes in some words it can be like you can't understand what you hear, or a.
Oh.
So
Okay.
and yeah, and sometimes we can write in transcription that it's like letter E that sounds a bit like a. So and
Okay.
it's also
All
like
right. That that,
because you
that could
can't
also
like
be that could
mm-hmm.
also be conflictive. Okay, over here. All right. No, I was trying to understand why you said protest, right? Like protest instead of process. But like
Yeah.
you just told me that a C is never t,
Ah,
right?
and by the
Process.
way, maybe also because in Ukrainian this word sounds like process.
Oh, okay, so there we
It's
go.
Ukrainian word
That's
process.
that's why. Okay, now I understand why.
Yeah,
Process, process. Okay.
process.
Got
Hmm.
it. Got it. All right. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at. Do you remember when we talked about record and record? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be taking a look at right now because these are the dangers of stressing the wrong syllable. Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes the word exists when you misplace the stress, right? So
Hmm.
you might say one thing as opposed to another. Like for example, you might want to say, "Oh, that's a Nobel Prize," right? But that's the thing, like Nobel would be the way to pronounce the prestigious word, right? Like the Nobel Prize. And that's a noble person.
Noble.
Noble
Hmm.
and Nobel.
Noble and Nobel. Oh, all this time I thought that this prize will the name of this prize is Nobel Prize.
Some people, depending on the accent, some people say Nobel Prize as well,
Nobel Prize.
right?
Uh,
So I guess it depends on the region the person was born, right? But noble is always noble, never Nobel,
No.
right?
Uh-huh.
So
No.
help me read this part.
He won the Nobel
Nobel Prize.
Nobel Nobel Prize for his noble effort.
Yes. We have invalid and invalid, right?
Uh-huh. Invalid.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
An invalid is a person who can't walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And invalid is something that is not valid, doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have any value. So
Mm-hmm. The invalid has an invalid permit.
good. Now let's put it all together.
The invalid has an invalid permit.
There we go. You're not connecting the and to the e.
No.
Let's do it.
The invalid has an invalid permit.
There we go. An invalid. An
An
invalid.
invalid permit. The
There we
invalid
go.
has an invalid permit.
Oh, there we go. Yes. We got personal and personnel.
Personal and personnel.
Now, personal is something individual, and
Mm-hmm.
personnel are the group of people that work for a specific company or organization, right? So,
Some of the some of the personnel have some personal problems.
there
Some
we
of the
go.
personnel have some personal problems.
Oh, that one. That one was the one. Yes. We got eligible, as
Mm-hmm.
in I can be chosen or I deserve to be chosen, and illegible, something that you can't read because it's so ugly, right? So, like illegible, you just can't read
Correct.
it because it was done horribly.
Mm-hmm.
So eligible, illegible. Let me hear you say both.
Eligible, eligible, illegible.
Beautiful. So,
You won't be eligible for that position if your handwriting is illegible. Illegible.
so again,
Mhm. You won't be eligible for that position if your handwriting is illegible.
excellent. Pronoun for nouns, right?
Pronoun,
Pronouns, pronouns.
pronouns, pronouns.
Okay. There we go.
Mhm.
So how do you say the question?
Can you pronounce can you pronounce those pronouns correctly?
Okay, give me
Nouns. Yeah. Mhm.
pronoun.
Pronouns.
Yes.
Can you pronounce those pronouns correctly?
You say pronouns. You say pronouns, right? It's not
And
pronouns, it's pronoun.
pronouns.
Yeah. Can you pronounce those
Can,
pronouns correctly?
can you pronounce those pronouns correctly? Can you
There we go.
pronounce those pronouns correctly?
Fantastic.
Mhm.
All right. Any questions so far?
So
We
far,
good?
so good.
All right. We got comedy and comedy.
Comedy and comedy.
Good. So,
The committee watch a comedy.
okay, that one was a piece of cake for you. Advantages, advantageous.
Advantages, advantages, advantageous.
Beautiful. So,
It it would be advantageous to learn about the advantages of that method.
yeah, method.
Method.
Not method.
Method.
Keep saying it's method.
Eh, method.
Yeah, there we go.
Method.
Method. Person doesn't work. The sound, right? Um, Also one little note here, there's nothing wrong with saying advantages and advantageous. Just remember that many people will say advantages, right?
Advantages.
Just so you know. We saw the reason why this happens in the previous classes, right? But just know that. This one is always te. This one you cannot omit. If you remember, that's because this is the stressed syllable. So you always say advantageous.
Advantageous.
Yeah, you never say
Advantages,
advantageous, right? Exactly. All right. A decade and decade.
decade, decade.
So,
Their relationships has decayed in the past decade.
in the past,
Decade,
yes. Decade in the past decade. Sorry, decade.
decade. Their relationship has decayed in the past decade.
Yes. Content and content. Content is an adjective that means satisfied and happy, right? So,
okay. Content and content.
yep.
Are you content with the content of that letter?
Yeah.
Letter.
Remember, Americans will say letter. Exactly.
Letter.
Americans will say letter. All right.
I
Career
can
and
multitask. I can't focus on everything.
no. I totally understand it. That's why I just meant remember that Americans will say
Yeah, it's
letter,
okay, it's
right?
fine.
Then we got career and carrier.
Career and career. He had a career working on an aircraft carrier.
Good. It's four, but you got the main pronunciation right. He had a career working for an aircraft carrier.
Or he had a career working for an aircraft carrier.
Alrighty. Now I emphasized for because you said on, right? That's the only. In reality, we would reduce it. Like he had a career working for an aircraft carrier, right? Working for. We don't emphasize it.
Mhm.
All right. Excellent. So far so good. All right. Moving on now to this part right here because there are some general rules for stress placement. Okay. So we're going to be focusing on two-syllable words. Now, one more time. As a general rule, which gets broken fairly consistently, but as a general rule, nouns that are two-syllable long, we stress on the first syllable, as in action, paper, and building. And the same way, if they are verbs that are two syllables long, we stress the second syllable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is just a regular, general rule. So, how do you read both of the? Sorry, how do you read the pair of words that we have in each one of the numbers?
Action, produce. Pepper,
Oop,
achieve. No,
no,
paper,
yeah, there we go.
paper, achieve.
Good.
Building, apply. Concert, succeed. Teacher, attach.
Attach.
Attach. Father, employ. Window, include. I can see it. Can you
Oh,
scroll a little?
yes, of course.
Thank you. Garden, destroy.
All right. Do me a favor, Katerina. Tell me when you can't see my mouse. All right.
Now I can't.
Okay. Because I'm like streaming the whole screen, but I didn't
Okay.
know you didn't see anywhere below this point. Okay, now I know. So it's gonna be easier for me to show you what you're gonna be able to see. Alrighty, so this is what we just practiced, having nouns stressed on the first syllable and verbs stressed on the second one. If you notice, they have the particular phenomenon that they are spelled exactly the same, right? Like record and record. So let's practice with these 19 common ones that we have in the English language. How do you say
Yeah.
number one?
Yeah, and Frank, I'm sorry, I can't see the screen. I forget that I enlarge it. I
Oh,
just zoomed
okay.
and I forget about that.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. So now you can see everything?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
now I can see a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay. I got it. That's all right. How about number one?
mm, addict, conduct,
Hold on.
conflict. No,
Addict?
addict. Ah,
Addict.
sorry. Addict, addict. Conduct, conduct. Conflict, conflict.
This one again.
Conflict.
Ooh, not con.
Huh? Conflict.
Yeah.
Conflict, here, conflict. Conflict.
This one is reduced, so in here it sounds like a schwa. Conflict.
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 Yes.
Yeah, conflict. Contest. Contest.
You gave me a schwa here, not a schwa. It's not contest. It's contest.
Contest.
Yes.
Contest. Convict or convict.
Well, we're on number 5.
Yeah. Sorry. Convert. Convert.
Yes.
Oh. convert, convert, convict, convict,
Beautiful.
defect,
D.
defect, defect, defect,
Yeah.
desert, desert,
Oop, hold on. This is not dessert. Two S's would be dessert, right? Which is what you have after your main course, your main meal at a
yeah,
restaurant, right? But this is dessert, which is a verb.
yeah, dessert,
Exactly. Instead of dessert, we say
dessert,
desert, right? To
dessert,
desert means to abandon. You know, like the they deserted the town and now
uh-huh,
nobody lives there, right?
yeah, I know,
Okay.
De desert, dessert,
Dessert.
dessert, dessert, increase, increase, insult, insult, object, object, present, present, produce, produce,
You remember this one? We just talked
yeah,
about it, right?
yeah,
Produce would be the vegetables in the right? Like that's
oh,
produce, right?
pro,
That's produce.
produce,
Produce and
produce,
produce.
and produce,
Yes.
produce, produce, and produce, progress, progress,
Yeah.
rebel, rebel, record, record, research, research, subject, subject, suspect, suspect.
There we go. All righty. Any questions about what we just did?
Clear.
All right. So let's go ahead and read a couple sentences. Now, the only way you have to know whether you're supposed to emphasize the first or second one is the context, right?
Mhm.
That's all you have. So, number one, what does it say?
The singer wants to record a new record.
Yes. Two,
The drug addict is addicted to heroin.
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 Yeah, heroin.
Heroin.
I don't know why I want you to pronounce this word correctly. It's not important. Let's do number three.
It was not. He insulted me with a rude insult. No,
Yes. Nope. That was
insult.
perfect. Insult.
Yeah,
Yes.
insult. I would like to present all of the present of the present members.
You said it perfectly. The only thing is you aspirated this T, and
Mm,
we have a consonant in front of it, right? So it would be of the present members. Present,
present members.
exactly,
Yeah.
instead of aspirating it. All
I
right.
would like to present all of the present members.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, number five.
Uh-huh. This permit permits you to park your car here.
Good. Now let's say it a little bit more smoothly.
Mhm. This permit permits you to park your car here.
Good. Can you flap this T? Permits you to park.
You to park. This permit permits you to park your car here.
Fantastic. That's exactly it. Let's do six.
They protested in the protest.
In the protest.
Protest. They protested in the protest.
Good. Let's flap this. They protested in. They protested in the protest.
They protested in the protest.
There we go. Yes. Seven.
Do you object to sorry? Do you object to this object?
Yes.
Do you object to this object? The convict was convicted again.
Good. Flap this D. Convicted again.
Convicted again. This convict was convicted again.
Convicted. Convicted.
Convicted. Convicted again.
There we go. That's the one. Say it again.
Convicted again.
Yes. Good. Nine.
I suspect that they caught the suspect.
Yes. 10.
They are going to contest the result. No. They are going to contest the result of the contest.
There we go. Yes. All right. Now we have a couple of lines which are, just short dialogues. I'm going to read A, you read B. All right?
Mhm.
Have you heard? The police caught the suspect.
Do you mean the one who is suspected of robbing the bank?
Suspected of,
Suspected of robbing the bank?
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
mean the one who is do you
go.
mean the one who is suspected of robbing the bank?
Yeah, I heard that I heard that he had a criminal record.
Oh, really? What crime was he convicted of? Convicted of?
He, yeah, he was, he is indeed a drug addict who has been robbing banks to support his addiction.
How many years do you think he will spend in prison?
Guessing a maximum of 10 years, but he might be released early in good conduct.
If he conducts himself badly and insults the prison guards, I wonder if his sentence will be increased.
I don't know. I haven't heard of a prison term increase. I haven't heard of a prison term increase for insults and bad conduct. All right, let's flip it. You're A now.
Have you heard the police caught the suspect?
Hold on. The question ends here. Have you heard? The
Have you
police
heard?
caught the suspect.
Have you heard the police caught the suspect?
You mean the one who is suspected of robbing the bank?
Yes, I heard that he had criminal record.
Oh, really? What crime was he convicted of?
He's a drug addict who has been no, he's a drug addict who has been robbing banks to support his addiction.
How many years do you think he will spend in prison?
A maximum of 10 years, but he might be released early on good conduct.
If he conducts himself badly and insults the prison guards, I wonder if his sentence will be increased.
I don't know. I haven't heard of prison term increase for insult and bad conduct.
Increase insults conduct. That one
Yeah.
was hard. I also messed up, so that's all right. Increase insults conduct.
Conduct.
All righty. Now we're gonna try one more time, Katya, but this time I want you to imagine this is a face-to-face real conversation that we're having, right? I'm going to tell you why. Because right now your pronunciation is immaculate, but it sounds like you're reading you're reading an audiobook. It's like you're going like this. Have you heard? The police caught the suspect. Do you mean the one who is suspected of robbing the bank? Like there's no emotion in what I'm hearing, right? So remember, we are shocked about this gossip, right? So
Okay.
let's go. Let's go. Remember, you and I having a normal day-to-day conversation.
I'm really bad in acting.
Oh, but you don't have to act. You just have to imagine you and I are having this conversation,
Okay.
right? It's all right. It's all in the intonation. Just give me a little bit of feeling, right? That's what I need.
Okay,
So,
let's try. I start with
yeah,
A.
yes.
Okay. Have you heard? The police caught the suspect.
Do you mean the one who is suspected of robbing the bank?
Yes, I heard that he had a criminal record.
Oh, really? What crime was he convicted of?
He's a drug addict who has been robbing banks to support his addiction.
Okay, let's do it again because he's a drug addict who has been robbing bank. That is, like a textbook recording, right? So that's all right. That's all right. But it sounds artificial. Let's work on
Okay.
your natural speech. He's a
Okay.
drug addict who has been robbing banks to support his addiction. Okay, so let's go.
Okay. He's a drug addict who has been robbing banks to support his addiction.
Oh my! How many years do you think he will spend in prison?
Maximum of 10 years, but he might be released early in good conduct.
Well, if he conducts himself badly and insults the prison guards, I wonder if his sentence will be increased.
I don't know. I haven't heard of prison term increase for insults and bad conduct.
You have to read that one again, right? So, let's go.
I don't know. I haven't heard of prison term increase for insults and bad conduct.
All righty. All right, that's all right. That's all right. So we're going to improvise. All right?
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna improvise because I need to hear you in real conversation. Right? All of the practice we've been doing right now has been quite artificial, focused on pronunciation, but there are
Mhm.
many other aspects that I need to check. Right? So so here we go. Try to use as many of the words that you remember. All right? Or maybe let's take this conversation somewhere else. I don't know, but I want us to have just a real conversation. All right. So, did you hear, Katya? They caught the suspect again.
Really?
Don't think about the vocabulary. Just go ahead and continue the conversation.
Ah, I hate such stuff. Okay, I will do it. Really? Mm, for what crime he was convicted for?
I think he was accused of money laundering, so I'm guessing he's gonna get like 10 years.
Can what can I ask further?
Probably the reason it's hard for you is because you have no interest in this conversation. All right. So I don't know.
Possible,
You
possible.
start you start the conversation. Take it somewhere you like. Anywhere. Like it doesn't have to be about
No, it will be
convicts or
even
anything.
more difficult. I'm really bad in improvising and making up things. Let's continue this one. Let's continue
All
this
right.
one.
All
You
right.
better. At least
So
some frames. So
okay, you need some limits to keep it
yeah.
to keep yourself focused. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, like last time they caught him, he spent I think it was 5 years in prison. They released him and then they caught him again.
Why did they release him?
Well, because of good conduct. So I guess, like they give you some time, you behave well, and then they release you.
Oh, that's awful. I believe they have to lock him for life.
I guess so because he hasn't shown any improvement, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So bad of him.
You can't just agree. You got to keep the conversation going.
I don't know. Mm, I
So what did
said
you do
I
yesterday? You have so many options to go with, all right? No, but I get it. Now, I am interested, Katya, in asking about why you said I hate this type of exercises, because this is real life. I mean, of course,
yeah,
we know this is not real life, but like this is real communication, right?
yeah.
And then you said you hated it. So I'm interested in knowing why somebody who speaks four languages doesn't like talking.
No, it's not about talking. It's still it's the task. You said that we're going to improvise and make something. Like I
Uh-huh.
had to create something, and it's immediate.
Okay.
It's like it's kind of not a red flag. I don't know. Something happened to me every time I had the
You
same situation. Every time on my dance class, because my coach, every
okay.
time she says, "Okay,
Mhm.
now we have 5 minutes left, so you improvise."
Okay. You
Here we go.
hate
I
you hate the
can't.
spotlight. I'm thinking that's what you hate.
Yeah,
Spotlight.
maybe,
Hmm.
maybe,
The
maybe, maybe.
spotlight. Or you hate being put under the spotlight
Spotlight. Yeah, possible. So, and in general,
unexpectedly. That's the thing. Uh-huh.
yeah. So, and every time, like it's also it's back to school when we had to
Mhm.
write something like some, dialogues or essays or something like that. I
Mhm.
never could do it. So I'm
Oh.
just really bad in making up stories.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Bad
really
at.
bad
Bad at.
at.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm really bad at making up stories. So it's
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah, and
So it's a
improvise any kind of improvisation.
oh, okay. So you're one of those people who need to prepare.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
You know
and
what?
here is mhm.
I identify 100% with that. Like being put on the spot, I hate that. And it's weird because like I keep doing it to my students, but that's because I need to see them react in action, sorry, in real
Yeah,
life,
I
right? Like I need to listen to how they react. But I'm sure like if somebody started ask me anything,
yeah,
like I would be, oh damn it, like I don't know, like I don't know what
yeah,
they did. Okay, so no, I completely understand you, especially being teachers or tutors, like in your case, like you can't go into a class without knowing what you're gonna do. And I know of a lot of people who just wing it. Like how can you improvise a class? Like I don't know, I just do. So like for me, that's just insane. So I get it.
yeah.
Alrighty, so Katerina, with this we have reached the end of today's class. We talked about stress, What are your takeaways from today's class?
That there are three purposes of stress. Is
Three
to
characteristics of stress.
three characteristics of stress. It's to highlight, like emphasize,
Yes.
to
In volume,
to not stress,
lengthen,
to lengthen. Yeah, thank you. And to make a pitch, make
louder.
it
I mean,
louder,
higher in
higher,
pitch,
higher,
right?
higher
Higher
pitch.
in pitch would be the difference between saying banana. I just
Mhm.
exaggerated a lot, right? But
Okay.
that's what we mean
Yeah.
by higher in pitch, right? Higher,
Higher.
lower. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, of course, it's not as as obvious as the change in pitch I just made, but that was just for example purposes. All right. I have another question, Svetlana. Svetlana, what the heck? Katerina. All right. Sorry.
It's
I don't
okay.
know why. I don't know why. I have a question, and that's, I mean, you can completely say no if you want to, like, feel no pressure. I just feel like today's class was really good, and I would like to include the recording of this class in my examples for classes when somebody wants to ask me. You can say no totally, and it's no problem. But I just wanted to ask you if I could, if you would be
Yeah.
okay with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. You can do
Now I feel a little bit embarrassed because at the end I called you another name, but like,
it. No, it's
why? Why
okay.
would I do that? Sorry.
My mom
No.
is Svetlana.
Oh, okay. No, I have another student from I have a student from Russia actually whose name is Svetlana, right? So like that's probably why, but I don't know, like I sincerely apologize. Um Katerina, can I?
Yeah, sure.
Is it okay? Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Any questions about what we just did?
No, no questions.
All right. Today is the last lesson of
Yeah.
the month, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be sending another payment request in starting March. That's going to be in no on Friday, right? I'm going to be sending you the payment request just so we can continue having classes on in March. And now before we continue, let me